All right, welcome back. Today, we've got a really cool puzzle for you. One that's kind of hidden in plain sight. It's about a huge bank, and its name seems to totally contradict where it's located. It's a wild story about identity, history, and of course, money. Trust me, it's going to make you totally rethink what's in a name. So, here's the deal. Picture this. You see a bank, right? Its name is the Shanghai Commercial and Savings Bank. So you're thinking, okay, easy enough, it's in Shanghai. But nope, its headquarters, the whole operational nerve center, is actually in Taipei. So how on earth is that possible? What is going on here? Okay, you know what? Let's just cut right to the chase. I'm not going to make you wait. I'll give you the answer right now, and then we'll get into the amazing history that explains how we got here. All right, so let's just be crystal clear on this. The Shanghai Commercial and Savings Bank, we'll just call it SCSB, is a Taiwanese bank, full stop. It's based in Taipei. It's regulated by Taiwan's own Financial Supervisory Commission. So you might be thinking, case closed, but not so fast. Because that simple fact just opens up an even more interesting question. Why in the world is Shanghai still in its name? And to answer that, we've got to jump in our time machine. Seriously. The real story here isn't buried in some modern financial report. It's found in the really turbulent pages of 20th century history. Okay, so the bank story kicks off way back in 1915 in Shanghai. And it was a huge success. It grew like crazy. And by 1934, it was the biggest private bank in all of China. But then the Chinese Civil War happened, and it changed literally everything. By 1950, the bank was shattered. Its assets on the mainland were seized, but the core of the institution managed to escape and relocate to Taiwan. It took a while. They had to re-register in '54 and spend years rebuilding. But in 1965, it officially reopened its doors in Taipei, ready for a whole new chapter. And here's the part that's just mind-blowing. Out of all the private banks from the mainland at that time, SCSB was the only one that managed to successfully move to Taiwan and keep operating after 1949. The only one. Think about that. That story of survival, that's at the very core of its identity today. So that's the history, right? A pretty dramatic story of survival. But the proof that it's a Taiwanese bank today isn't just a history lesson. Oh no, it's written all over its modern financial filings, its stock ticker, and yeah, even its street address. First up, let's talk simple facts. Where's the command center? It's right here, at this address on Minquan East Road in Taipei. And listen, this isn't just some P.O. box. This is the operational and legal heart of the entire bank. So who's the boss? Who holds them accountable? Well, that would be Taiwan's Financial Supervisory Commission, the FSC. This is the top dog, the highest financial authority in Taiwan, and SCSB plays by their rules, completely under their supervision. And this isn't just some theoretical thing on paper. We have cold, hard proof. Just recently, in late 2023, the FSC in Taiwan slapped the bank with a 10 million new Taiwan dollar fine over a data breach. I mean, think about that. A country's top financial watchdog doesn't hand out a multi-million-dollar fine unless you are 100% under their jurisdiction. So the regulatory picture is super clear. And guess what? So is the financial one. The bank is a publicly traded company. You can find it right on the Taiwan Stock Exchange with the ticker 5876.TW. Its entire economic lifeblood is woven into Taiwan's financial markets. So who actually owns this thing? Who's in charge? Well, it's definitely not a state-run operation. The general public, people like you and me, they actually own the biggest piece of the pie, almost 60%. It's a public company owned by thousands of regular investors on the Taiwanese stock market. And we're not talking about some small-time operation here. This bank has a market value of around $7 billion US. That makes SCSB a massive financial powerhouse, a really important pillar of the entire Taiwanese economy. Okay, so if all the evidence is this clear-cut, why is there any confusion at all? Well, my friends, this is where the story gets really interesting. You see, our bank, it isn't an only child. It's got a couple of cousins running around that share the same family name. Let's untangle this complicated family tree. First, you've got our bank, the original one, now headquartered in Taipei. Got it. Second, there's the Shanghai Commercial Bank in Hong Kong. Now, this used to be a branch of the original, and get this, it's now majority owned by the bank in Taiwan. And then finally, there's the Bank of Shanghai, which is actually in Shanghai, on the mainland. But this one is a totally modern bank, started in 1995, and has zero historical connection to the other two. So 3 banks, 1 name, 3 totally separate identities. But wait, there's a twist. Even though they're all legally separate companies, they actually work together. They form this thing called the Three Shanghai Banks Alliance, so their customers can get services across borders more easily. So yeah, they cooperate, but it's so important to remember they are not the same company. And believe me, the bank in Taipei has big ambitions that go way beyond just that region. They've built up this huge international network, expanding strategically all over Southeast Asia. We're talking Vietnam, Singapore, Thailand, you name it. This isn't just some local bank. It's a Taiwanese bank with a serious global footprint. All right, so we've been on a journey through history, finance, and even global expansion. Let's pull all these threads together now. What does it all really mean? Okay, let's just run through the evidence one more time. The history, it's the only private bank to make that incredible journey from mainland China. Its headquarters, physically and legally in Taipei. The regulations, all governed by Taiwanese authorities. The market, it's publicly traded on the Taiwan Stock Exchange. I mean, you look at it from any angle and the conclusion is exactly the same. And that right there is the key to this whole paradox. The name Shanghai isn't about where it is now. It's a living piece of history, a relic of its past. You could even call it a badge of honor for surviving that incredible journey. But its identity, who it is today, that is 100% Taiwanese, forged through decades of resilience and success. You know, it really makes you think, doesn't it? A company's name isn't always just a slick brand. Sometimes it's a map pointing to a hidden history. And that kind of leaves us with one last question to chew on. How many other companies out there are carrying the story of a nation's history right in their name, just waiting for someone to notice?